Tori. Shion. Damn it.
Here I come! Take the... Here I come! Sword Rain Alpha! Double Demon Fang! Try harder! Not a chance! Louis! Strike! You're finished! Take this! It's over! Sword Rain... You're mine! Double Demon Fang! Here I come! Take this! Raining Slash! Blow away! I'm not done! You're mine! Double Demon Fang! Here I come! You're mine! This one's all mine! Eat dirt! You're mine! Take this! Raining Slash! Sword Rain Alpha! No escape! Double Demon Fang! Raining Slash! Here I come! Take this! I'm not... Time to let it rip! Sword Rain Alpha! Rising Falcon! Here I come! Double Demon Fang! Raining Slash! You're mine! Double Demon Fang! Sword Rain Alpha! This one's all mine! Eat dirt! Double Demon Fang! Sword Knight! Can't move! You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha! Double Demon Fang! Blow away! You're mine! Take this! Double Demon Fang! Raining Sword Rain Alpha! Sword Rain Alpha! Double Demon Fang! Sword Rain Alpha! I'm not done! Take this! Double Demon Fang! Raining Sword Rain Alpha! No, it's... Double Demon Fang! Blow away! Double Demon Fang! You're my... Here I come! It's on! Eat dirt! Here I... Sword Rain Alpha! Double Demon Fang! Raining Slash! Here I come! Try harder! My turn! Here I come! It's over! Double Demon Fang! Here I come! It's over! Here I come! Double Demon Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! You're mine! It's over! You're mine! You're finished! Raining... Blow away! It's on! Eat dirt! Here I come! Raining slash! Here I come! Raining slash! You're finished! Sword Rain Alpha! Double Demon Fang! Take this! It's over! Blow away! Sword Rain Alpha! Double Demon Fang! Take this! You're finished! Here I come! Try harder! Double Demon...
Alvin?
Finwell!
What happened just now? Normally you'd be able to take that thing with your eyes closed.
Thank goodness you're alive. Are you all right? Yeah.
I'm just glad we found you in one piece. You were the only one still missing. There's a village back the way we came from, Thistleim. Kisara and La are already there.
Finwell, where are we?
Ganeth Haros, Volron's realm. Remember?
Ushered by the waves straight to the enemy stronghold. A rare stroke of luck, it would seem.
Luck?
If Volron's here, that means Shion's close too, right?
Shion? Oh. Right. Of course.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? You seem a little off.
He's probably just exhausted. Let's save the catching up for when we're back at the village.
We won. That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
Speaking of Thistleim, it's populated by Danans, but they're not under the rule of any lord. Pretty refreshing, huh? The whole town was built by Danan defectors, escapees from elsewhere. This area's teeming with stray Zeugles, though, so heaven only knows how they managed to set up a community here. The ordeal seems to have left them understandably on edge. Kisara and La are back there right now trying to convince them of our good intentions. Say, Alphen, it looks like you got your face back then.
Yeah. And your sense of pain, too, it would seem. Any connection?
Really? Oh, but that means...
Probably.
I wonder if Alphen's going to be okay.
For now, I believe we should hold off on speculation and simply keep an eye on him.
Right. the Owl Forest? Whoo! Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Alphen! Boy, am I glad to see you safe.
Well, did you manage to convince them we're not in league with any lord?
Yeah, eventually.
When the ship sank, I thought we were done for. Guess the world just couldn't keep us apart.
Yeah, and now we can finally go rescue Xion.
There's something I need to tell you guys first. I got my memory back.
So, what did you remember? Are you able to tell us now?
Give the man some space, Law.
I remember being up on Lenegus.
Go on.
I was abducted from Dano. I was told if I ever wanted to return home, I'd have to cooperate. So that's what I did. Next thing I knew, they had made me into the Sovereign.
You mean to say you won the crown contest? As a Dahnan?
No. They kept me locked in a strange facility. They experimented on me, like I was nothing more than an animal. There were others, but only I survived. Of course, I wasn't really a king. The reality was that they treated me worse even than the lowest slave. The only reason I survived was because my body was able to withstand the Sovereign's power that they placed inside me.
The crest that appeared behind you on Almadria's ship must have undoubtedly been that of the Sovereign. It all makes sense now. Your affinity with the Blazing Sword, and the strange powers you possess, they were all because you were the Sovereign.
Okay, but why would the Renans go out of their way to give you all that power? Just what exactly does being the Sovereign entail?
They said it was for something called the Spirit Channeling Ceremony. They taught me how to harness my power for when the big day came. As for what the ceremony was actually for, unfortunately, I never found out.
So if what you're saying about being on Lenegus is true, then maybe you really did meet Xion. After all, you said you recognized her from somewhere, right?
But Xion said she'd never seen him before. How do you explain that?
I was wrong. It wasn't Xion I knew from Lenegus. It was Naori. She was a Renan maiden they paired me with during the spirit channeling ceremony. She's the woman I kept seeing in my dreams.
A maiden? What?
Wait, so this Naori figure just happens to be the double of Xion? Bit coincidental, isn't it?
Naori's family name was Imerys.
As in Shion Imaris?
So they're distant relatives or something? Wait, or are they sisters?
Your guess is as good as mine. All I know is it was Naori. She's the one who put the mask on me.
The mask? But why?
To keep my soul from devouring itself over the guilt. After what I did on Lenegis. Over the lives I took.
Lives? You mean you staged a rebellion?
Perhaps it was a part of this spirit channeling ceremony?
I don't know. Whatever it was that the spirit channeling ceremony was supposed to achieve, it didn't turn out as planned. I lost consciousness halfway through. By the time I came to, Lenegis was a sea of flames. I opened my eyes to see Naori there, weeping. I shudder to think of how many deaths I caused that day. Certainly more than any of these lords can claim, I'm sure.
You really expect us to believe this? First the Sovereign, then Lenegis? You couldn't possibly have done all that.
I wonder. In ancient scripture, there is tell of a terrible calamity that befell Lenegis, nearly destroying it. The restoration took years and required the work of countless laborers.
By ancient, you mean...
It predates the crown contest, to a time before even the first Renan invasion of Dana. More than 300 years ago.
300? But that'd make Alphen...
That's right. I'm pretty much an antique of a human being. Deep down, maybe I already knew.
Alphen...
Some hero, huh? Cooperating with the same villains who snatched me from my home, committing mass slaughter, only for it to slip my mind. Then, when I finally remember, turns out I'm so old I've got scripture written about me. So much for standing up to injustice. I've probably got more blood on my hands than all the lords combined!
Alphen, stop! Honestly, I'm not going to pretend to understand what all this means. But what I do know is that right now, you're just reacting to the shock.
Kisara.
Listen, what you really need is time. Time to process things and get your head straight. Truth be told, I think that probably goes for all of us.
What about Shion? We can't just...
I'm worried about Shion too, Law. But it's clear that Alphen's in no fit state to fight. This is Volron, remember? Even at full capacity, it's practically a suicide mission. We stay put in the village till we're ready. Okay, everyone? Take some time to think things through, okay? But remember, we're all here for you if you need us. No matter how dark things might seem, you're not alone, Alphen.
Thank you.
It's fine. All right, everyone. Let's break for now.
I even have the right to fight? Do I have the right to go to Shion's rescue? What do the others think?
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Dahnan, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Dahnan for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden, a figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I've never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Shion needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegis, anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Dahnans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after that, she still helped me escape back to Dana. She stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left to fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
In all honesty, you don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can. Be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor. Back after my brother had passed away, it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting, to strive no matter what.
Then I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them. Left to my own devices, who knows when I would have been able to pick myself up. Besides, it's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming. Not only that, but that guilt you feel inside, that's all the proof you need to know you're a good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you. But if you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for, huh?
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm like. It's strange. When I think about Lenegis, it still feels like it was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the Sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Shion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Shion were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, Shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Xion must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get going.
Alphen, are we gonna go rescue Xion or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kinda my forte.
Come on, man, snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Xion.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Xion?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Xion's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Xion or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Xion. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you.
Back to the inn, I guess.
Alphen! There you are!
What is it?
Zeugles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it.
I'm up for it.
Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's now or never, right?
Alphen, right! Great to have you back! Now let's do this!
Look sharp, people! If we don't act fast, they're going to get into the village.
Right, we need to hurry.
Remember, if the pain's too much,
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come! We can't let even a single one through!
There's a no Zoogle policy.
Fine by me. Let's get to work then.
surprise! Stop! Are those arms even natural?
Appreciate you.
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Far enough. Reflect on thy sin. They smite with black and flame.
Lightning condemned! Thunderblade!
Execution. Benediction light.
Hurricane Storm Strike!
Benediction light.
Raging cascade!
Benediction light.
Lightning condemned! Thunderblade!
These fists have got your name on them. Reflect on thy sins. They smite with black and flame. Now you see what I can do.
Into the wind!
Execution.
Seal! Confiscate! Lightning raging cascade! In here!
Reflect on thy sins. You
More
require
from the
a help.
stockpile! Eagle Fire! Magic is
Begin.
This one's mine!
Freeze Lancer!
Elusive deity. Can you take it? Eagle ray. Complete
Lightning
for me.
Sword! Lightning condemned!
You're mine!
Dance in the wind! Air
In an instant!
Impact block.
Freaking
does it far enough. Eat this. Anything normal doesn't hurt. Reflect on thy sins. They smite with black and flame. I'm on a roll now.
Finish it!
Kisara, all yours, Kisara.
Alphen, you okay?
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Yeah.
You know, Thistleum kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs. Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh? Is that a hint of fighting spirit I sense?
Yeah. I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers, it comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. family, home. They took everything from me. And left me with nothing but guilt. I was completely alone. At least that's what I thought. But not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that. Not ever again. I'll protect those bonds with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Xion comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Xion, then we defeat Volron and liberate Dana. Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Yeah, can't exactly fight at the top of your game when you're hungry.
Good point. Let's stop by the inn and plan our next move from there. By the way, how is Mahavar doing? Wait, don't tell me we still haven't found him.
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered the whole length and breadth of the coast, but...
All of the other crew members are accounted for, including us. But we weren't able to find Mahavar. He's still missing.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship.
You mean at the bottom of the ocean? Damn it.
We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
Do you think he might still be alive somewhere out there?
I think stranger things have happened. Whether he's alive or otherwise, we've exhausted all the avenues available to us. All we can do now is press on ahead.
Fine, let's get going. Thistleum was founded by Danan's fleeing the tyranny of Renan lords, right? But when you first came, they must have known Dohalim was Renan. So why do you think they let us in?
They almost didn't. But it wasn't just Dohalim they were wary of. They didn't trust any of us.
Even the weird Danans just like them?
When you live life in constant fear of being pursued, it's only a matter of time before all outsiders start to seem a potential threat.
I suppose that makes sense. So how did you convince them to trust us?
You saw how destitute the village was. They needed food, badly. We hunted some Zeugles for them. That seemed to do the trick.
Of course, a little magic-assisted roast didn't hurt things.
Never underestimate a full stomach's ability to put a person at ease. It turns out a hearty meal can be a powerful weapon. Something's on your mind. You having second thoughts about rescuing Xion?
Of course not. Xion's our friend. Almeidrea was the one I hated. For as long as I can remember, she served as a symbol to me of everything Renan. But ever since getting to know Xion, I realized it doesn't make sense to group people together like that. Every individual is different.
I see.
Besides, the situation with Almeidrea was something else entirely. I'd already decided I wasn't going to kill her, but when I saw her die right in front of me, a part of me thought it served her right, that she'd gotten what she deserved. But another part regretted that someone else had come along and killed her instead. Don't get me wrong. If I had the chance again, I still wouldn't kill her. But it's not like I'll be shedding any tears now that she's gone. It's all so confusing. I don't know how to make sense of any of it.
Who said it had to make sense?
Huh?
Rinwell, you've done nothing wrong. You've started to question the beliefs you've held all your life. It's only natural for you to feel disoriented. You didn't give in to the hatred you felt for Almeidrea. You made a choice not to kill her. And that's significant, whether you realize it or not. As for what it means exactly, that might be worth taking some time to figure out on your own.
Some time.
Or don't, if you don't want to. It's just an idea. I'm still searching too, remember?
No, I think you're right. It can't hurt to keep searching after all. And hey, thanks, Kisara. Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Let's see what's going on around here.
Yeah, there might be someone who could use our help. I think Hoodle senses an owl around here.
It feels like I'm melting.
Calaglia was pretty hot, but at least the air there was dry. Out here, it feels like I'm trying to walk through thick soup.
I can hardly breathe, it's so stuffy. And don't get me started on the insects. You hanging in there, Hoodle?
It's brutal, all right. I can feel my energy being drained away just by walking. All this vegetation makes it hard to keep an eye out. Keep your wits about you, everyone. And watch you don't keel over while you're at it.
What's needed at times like these is a relaxing hot spring. That would soon help us adjust.
And where do you expect us to find one of those?
What about you, Alphen? All that gear, and you hardly seem to be breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I guess when you've lived a life devoid of pain for as long as I have, even feeling hot and bothered could be a welcome change.
Well, lucky you, I guess. Just don't expect us to carry you when you pass out.
There's a nice breeze here. Reel it in. We can get a good meal out of this fella.
I can't believe you caught that with a rod. Amazing.
Ha! I've got something. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Nice! You caught it!
I've got something. I reeled us in a big one.
We can make a real feast out of this bad boy.
Ha! Okay, change of plans.
Got a really bad feeling about this. Sharpness!
I owe you one. Demon Fang! Double kick!
Piercing roll!
First strike! This one's mine!
You require a hand.
Pierce through! Rising Wyvern!
Can't get out of this.
Lunar Rumble!
Leave the ensnaring
Stay
to me.
ready!
Yeah, and the pummeling to me.
Dragon Form!
Just what I needed.
Sonic
This
Block!
one's mine!
Double Demon Fang!
Piercing
It's
roll!
time to dance in the wind! Time to
Living
shine!
Thrust! You're
I'll be
finished!
saving this one!
Tear!
Going in!
Tempest Whirl!
Going in!
Hope this works!
Take this. I'll tear you apart.
Do it!
Long! Demons Descent!
Flashing Fang.
You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha!
Take pieces. Attack time.
Flew
Far
away!
enough! Going in! Ridwell!
Frozen!
Hammer!
We managed to pull through. Man, this place is thick with foliage.
I know. It feels like we're going to be swallowed up by all these plants if we stay in here.
Indeed. I much prefer the forests in Menancia myself.
Not that I don't agree, but maybe now's not the best time for Elda Menancia Pride.
yourself.
to
This
shield
one's
from
tough.
calamity. Benediction light. No art is being interrupted. Benediction light.
This one's mine.
They rush you. You gotta be for cover, okay?
In a bind?
I'll finish you here and now!
Take this!
Rising Wyvern.
I'm on it!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Sonic Thrust. Sword Rain Alpha.
I'll be saving you.
Tectonic
Another
Time to let it
incantation
rip.
ruined.
Talon Storm!
Take this! Have this! Now it's my turn! Can you take it? Elusive deity! Eagle ray!
Finish it.
More! Blow them away! Benediction light.
Far enough! Eagle Front armor won't save! Now I'm in the
Not
groove!
today.
Can you take it?
Whirling smash!
Eagle ray!
Do it!
Sword Rain Alpha.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Benediction light.
Double Demon Fang.
Heal! Reflect on thy
Gale
sins.
Force!
They smite
Raging
with blackened
Cascade!
blade.
Rising Wyvern.
Hurricane!
More
Now
precision!
I'm in the groove!
Now!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
I wonder if we can use this. Yeah!
This one will be difficult to predict. No further!
Sharpness!
Eat
I'm
that!
ready!
Lightning Thrust.
I'm on it!
Denied!
Simian pest! I shall seal you where you stand!
Radiant Blast.
Lightning can here!
Double Demon Fang.
Not in your dreams!
Eagle
This
Fly!
one's mine.
I'm on a roll now!
I'll face you!
It's showtime! I can carve through armor!
Eagle ray!
Rising Wyvern.
More!
Hey!
Blow them away!
Tectonic punch!
You're mine.
Benediction light.
Heal!
Light acceleration!
They smite with stand back! I'll trip it up! Execution!
Sonic Thrust.
There you go!
Finish it.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! I'm ready for the next battle.
This one will be difficult to predict. No further!
Tectonic punch! Leave the charge to me!
Sword Rain Alpha.
Can you take it?
Far enough!
Eagle ray!
What's this?
Benediction light. A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Wind after Raging Cascade! Spread! Dance in the
Execution!
wind! Air!
Eat this! Hurricane!
Benediction light.
Anything in armor is all mine!
Confiscated!
Reflect on thy sins. They smite with
Now!
black more. Hey! Blow them away!
Dragon Shell!
Benediction light. Another incantation ruined.
You should have messed with me!
Benediction light. Heal! Reflect on thy sins. They
one's
smite
mine.
with blackened blade.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it!
Reflect.
Nothing gets by me!
Roll now! Far enough!
More with that
Demon Fang. Finish it.
Outfield!
In an instant. Impact Blast.
What is it, Hootle? You want to go back?
Animal intuition, perhaps?
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Maybe I'll get some training in before we eat.
Whoa, that came out perfect!
So, Halim, care if I hang out for a while? I wanted to ask you something.
I'm all ears.
How much contact did you have with the other lords back in the day?
I only saw or exchanged words with them on a handful of occasions. Not that I was particularly keen on even that much.
Almeidrea made it sound like the two of you had some kind of history together.
She was like that with all of the lords, not just me. She was always interested in who she could use, who had value for her own ends. Having said that, she wasn't quite so brazen back when we were still in Lenegus. In a sense, she may have been a victim of the crown contest as well.
Almeidrea? A victim?
To a Renan, there is no greater honor in life than being chosen to serve as a lord, let alone to go on and become the next sovereign. We are taught that from the day we leave the womb. There are few Renans who wouldn't be ecstatic at the prospect of ascending to lordship.
You were like that though, right? You've always struck me as a more grounded guy.
No sane Renan would ever dare admit that their interests lie in anything but power and prestige, even if they feel so in their heart of hearts.
The more you talk about it, the more it seems like the crown contest is nothing but misery for Renans, too.
Which is why I seek to end it. Not that I imagine Danon such as Rinwell are all that interested in hearing tales of woe such as mine. We'd best get ready for tomorrow. Once we finish eating, we should get going.
Everyone okay?
No choice!
A
wall to shield in a bind?
Back down! Swallow blade! Be careful, everyone! This one isn't normal!
They smite with blackened blade!
Attack time!
Execution!
Now!
Benediction light.
Slash!
Light
Sword
action!
Blade Alpha!
Elusive deity!
Hitting
fall!
Confiscated!
I'll face you!
Rising Wyvern!
Now!
Alpha!
In an instant! Impact block!
Dance in the wind!
Can you
Here!
take it? Does it hurt?
I'll be
You're
there!
mine!
Benediction.
You're finished! Dragon Shell!
He denied! Allow me to
Move
help
away!
you. A comfortable win.
Ho 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 ho! Ho ho ho!
You're saying we should check the owl forest? I've got a really bad feeling about this.
I owe you one.
Reflect on my sin. They smite with blackened blade.
It's on! This one's mine!
Execution. It's time. Can't get out of this. Together, elusive deity.
Sonic Thrust!
Attack time.
Finish it!
Run well. Demon's descent. Flashing fang. Now
Alpha!
elusive
Blow
deity.
away!
Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade. I'm practically unstoppable. What's up?
Once we get to the mountain, the terrain won't be easy. We should rest up here before pressing on.
But what about Shion? She's waiting for us.
All the more reason to conserve our energy.
Huh?
It's not only the mountain. Hard though that may be, it's a pittance compared to what follows. Namely Volron. We wear ourselves out now, or worse still, get injured. We might as well show up gift-wrapped. Right, Kisara?
That's right. Besides, Alphen still hasn't fully recuperated yet.
I'm fine. Don't stop on my account.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, it's me who wants to take a rest for a while. Does that suit you better?
A little bit.
So, Alphen, 300 years, huh? Care to share the secret to such a long and healthy life?
I wish I knew. Once I left Lenegis, the next thing I remember is waking up in Calaglia. Everything in between is a blank.
You mean there are still gaps in your memory?
I've heard of starships with devices that can stave off imminent death by putting their passenger into a deep sleep. They're usually only intended as a temporary solution, until proper treatment for an ailment or injury can be obtained.
You think he might have been asleep in that starship for 300 years? But why? What would be the point?
Might this Naori have had a hand in it?
What do you mean?
If she's Renin like you say she is, she would have understood how to operate the starship better than yourself.
You're saying she deliberately put me to sleep for 300 years?
Dohalim, that's a bit of a leap.
Forgive me, I spoke out of turn. I'm merely thinking aloud, that's all. Shion and the maiden Naori. After 300 years, it's not unreasonable to suspect they may be related. Shion is nearly the perfect image of her, yes? She also just so happens to be connected to you. Is it merely a coincidence?
Like I've told you 1,000,000 times already, I wouldn't know.
Well, if you're absolutely certain that it couldn't have been Naori, then I guess I must have been mistaken. Complicated machinery can sometimes break down or have failures. Sorry for being presumptuous.
Hold on a sec. Alphen, you said the mask was to placate you, right? To keep your guilt and rage in check? And you were wearing it the whole time you were asleep, right?
I guess I must have been.
So that's 300 years you were wearing it. It's just a hunch, but do you think that the mask might be...
The reason he lost all his memories?
All but a select few strong ones. so deeply ingrained in his psyche that he saw them in the form of dreams. It's not completely out of the question.
In which case, maybe it was the mask numbing his sense of pain, too.
It's certainly possible. As for how, I wouldn't know, but the dampening effect on his psyche could have manifested itself physically as well.
I'm sorry for snapping at you back there. It's thanks to you that I feel like that we're finally getting somewhere with all this.
No apologies necessary. Reading others' feelings has never been my strong suit.
So he finally admits it.
I really hope Shion's okay.
I get why you're concerned. But if you don't rest when you can, you're going to regret it.
She's right. We need our rest to conserve our strength.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, you two.
No problem. We'll save Shion. I know we will.
Done. This is sure to give the others some much-needed energy.
Alone. I'm all alone.
Let's go. We don't want to keep Shion waiting.
I always hear you muttering to yourself whenever we're in battle. So, just what are you saying?
Why do you want to know? Does it bother you or something?
Not really. It's just the way you talk is sometimes kind of creepy. So I was wondering if you vent your frustration through your magic. Are you yelling, "You stupid jerk," or something like that to pump yourself up?
What? No, that's not what's happening during my incantations. I'm just focused, so I match my tone to fit the mood of whatever I'm trying to invoke.
Invoke?
How do I put it? Basically, the elemental astral energy behind each art, I guess.
Astral energy? Hold on, are you saying you can talk to astral energy?
Not exactly. But if I put emotion into what I say, it's easier for me to properly cast my arts. That makes sense?
Kind of. Okay, so if you can talk to astral energy, then you can ask it to, like, predict the weather or find secret treasure?
Wait, you don't really think that, do you?
Or you can ask it to send down lightning to where there's bad guys lurking and...
May lightning condemn those who bear false! Thunderblade!
Ah, what are you doing? You almost fried me with that!
I just asked the astral energy to send down lightning where there were annoying boys.
I don't know what to do. Things can't go on like this.
What do you mean?
Ah! Oh, it's you, Rinwell.
You were talking about me, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. I've just been thinking about some things.
Really? How unusual.
Cut it out. I'm being serious here.
Sorry.
I was thinking about... You know how I used to work for Ganabelt back when I was in Cyslodia?
Yeah, of course. You were brought in after the Snake Eyes killed your friends, right? I mean, you had to.
Right. I used to have nightmares about it when I fell asleep. But lately that's been happening a lot less. I don't know how to feel about that.
That's a good thing, isn't it? You should be happy.
Yeah, but... I did a lot of terrible things back then. And I'm scared I'm starting to forget what I did.
Okay, so let me just get all of this straight. You think you'll forget everything if you stop having those nightmares? Why?
Because, you know me, I'm freaking stupid.
But it sure doesn't sound to me like you've forgotten.
Oh, yeah, but still.
I don't think those nightmares going away means you've forgotten. Maybe it's a sign that you've come to terms with what you did.
Come to terms? You mean like Alphen with his past? You think that's what's happening?
Yeah, I do. You're pretty amazing, Law.
I am?
Yeah. Not all of us have figured out how to accept our pasts. Least of all, me.
Rinwell.
That's what we're going to climb?
The villagers managed it on their escape from the city. We're going in the opposite direction, but where there's a will...
There's always a way, right? And it looks like we're out of options. Let's grit our teeth and go! Is it just me, or does Rinwell suddenly seem much more comfortable around Dohalim than she used to?
I noticed that too. When the two of them came and found me together back on the beach, I could hardly believe my eyes.
It's not like we had a choice or anything. Law and Kisara had to hang back to convince the villagers we meant them no harm. More than that, though. There are a lot of things I've still got to come to terms with regarding Almeidrea. But I guess I'm through making snap judgments based on someone's origin. At least, I'm trying to be. I guess you could say it's a work in progress.
I see. You hear that, Law? Sounds like all that hard effort wasn't for nothing.
Yeah.
That's got to be reassuring to hear. Right, Dohalim?
Not being subjected to unwarranted suspicion is certainly welcome.
Yeah, that long-winded way you have of talking, though, not so much a fan of that.
I think that's more of a personality thing than a Renin trait.
Really? In that case, I won't have to feel guilty getting annoyed by it. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Reflect on thy
Demon
fate.
Fang!
They smite with blackened blade.
Eternal Demonstration!
Leave the torch! It's a duel of the arts!
Execution.
Here goes! Don't mind if I do.
In a bind. The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that.
I'll face you.
I'll be saving this one.
Eagle Ray. I'm surrounded. Elusive deity.
Let's go!
I'll face you.
Now we're in the home stretch, guys.
What she said. Eyes on the prize.
That focus goes double for you, Law.
Me? How come I get double that?
Finally broken!
Ready and ready. I'm
Tornado
Drive.
Broken!
House this.
Swallow dance!
Elusive deity. Rotating pile
Be
driver.
still!
Benediction
Rising
light.
Falcon!
Here. There you
Lightning
go.
raging
All like
technique.
me again.
Dance in the wind. Air thrust.
Glimmer
Next in the groove.
Hurricane Smash!
Does it hurt?
Dragon Shell! You're doing it!
I'll face you.
Not today!
Can't get out of this. Eat this.
Finish it!
Hero. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis.
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Crap. This injury hurts more than I thought. Shion, sorry, but could you... Oh. Right.
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
Signal. Don't mind if I do.
Barrier. Reflect on the arts of being interrupted. I'll face you.
Design own
Elusive deity.
Concentration.
Tornado Drive. Elusive deity.
Too back!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Treasure field.
Now you see what I can do. Elusive deity. I'll face you. I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
Rising Wyvern!
Strike. Take this.
Luna Rondo!
House this.
Mega
We got the advantage.
Good.
Here.
Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, cause Law's on it.
Benediction.
Just getting started. Here. Begin. That freaking does it.
Double Demon
Elusive
Fang!
deity.
Hurricane!
I'll face you.
Nice, Law.
Leave it all to love.
Hey, I'm here too, you know.
This calls for a celebratory drink.
I've got a really bad feeling about
I
this.
shall ensure you survive this.
Sword Lane Alpha!
Can't get out of this.
Confiscate.
Castle!
Lightning condemned. Thunderbolt.
Begin.
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
Benediction light. Rising one. Heal. Not today.
Reflect on thy sins.
Oh, now I'm real mad. How anti-climactic.
Strike. Here I come. Dragon Storm.
Elusive deity.
First strike. Atomic thrust.
Take this.
Look sharp.
Lightning Tiger Blade. See that?
That training
In a
paying
bind.
off.
Benediction light.
Not today.
Benediction light.
I'll smash you.
Maybe she'll Kitara.
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life.
The astral energy is surging around me.
How do you even know about all that astrally stuff?
Same way I know what you do in the middle of the night.
What? Are you serious?
I wonder if we can use this.
I've never stood so close to a waterfall like this before.
I bet it'd feel real refreshing to take a shower underneath this water.
You're welcome to try, but that water pressure would likely crush you to a pulp.
This will be a delicious
Shield
piece of
from
cake.
calamity.
Barrier. I owe you one. Take this. Eagle Rising
Ready to go!
Not done.
Forward up!
Lunar Rumble.
That shell hiding
This death shall not be forgotten.
Soaring execution.
Lightning connect.
Benediction light.
Thunder blade.
Heal.
Reflect on thy sins.
Please hand these
so
arts
much,
to me.
Willow.
Maybe my arts do have a place in this world.
Sure.
Glad you have your uses.
I'll show you how useful I can be.
Reflect on thy sins.
They smite with blackened blade.
Thunder blade. Too much to handle.
Execution.
Be still. Rising Falcon.
Here I come.
In a bind. I'll face you.
Finish it.
Begin.
In an instant. Impact block. We work well together.
Like a finely timed
Lunar
waltz.
Dragon.
Wing astral energy. Raging cascade.
Sword Rain Alpha.
Eagle
Now.
Ray. Swing left. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis.
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
No holding back.
To shield from calamity. This'll be a piece of cake.
I owe you one.
Reflect on thy sins. They smite with blackened blade.
If it hides, just smash it out again.
Execution.
It's on. This one's mine.
Benediction light.
No armor. Stop me.
Finish it.
Remind me to stay on your...
In an instant. Impact block. We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Ready and ready.
Can you take it? Does it hurt?
Raging
You're
storm.
mine. Finish it.
Kitara frozen.
Hammer.
I'll take you all on.
Watch this.
Raging storm.
Double Demon
Take
Fang.
it. I'll face you.
Dear heart. Here I come.
Deity. No further.
Finish it.
Bricklow frozen.
Hammer. All All aboard the victory train!
Overconfidence can bite you in the butt.
This one will be difficult to predict.
This one's mine!
I'm ready!
Rising Order!
They may look cute and stuff, but they're vicious.
Execution! It's almost too strong!
Split it open!
Be like it!
Bridwell!
Frozen.
Hammer!
Rising Order! First strike! Mirage!
Raging
They smite with blackened blade! Rising Order! Did you hear it now? Execution! Can you take it? This one's all mine! Elusive deity! Begin! Dragon Eagle Ray! Begin! Sword Rain Alpha! Blow away!
Can you take now.
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Rising Viper!
What's this? Can you take it? Does it hurt?
Ready to go!
You're mine! We're cleaning house!
Let me take the rest of it!
Whoa, someone's feeling lively.
Elusive deity! Eagle Ray! Take this! Armor won't save! I'm on a roll now! Elusive deity! Tornado drive!
Pierce through!
Benediction light.
This one's mine! Rising Light! In an instant! Impact Block!
There's always room for improvement. Oh, this looks nice and tough.
How much farther?
I don't think we're even halfway there yet. Hang in there.
Not even halfway? Are you serious?
That's no reason to give up now.
Can't.
No holding back.
Shield from calamity.
Come on, come on!
Try this on for size.
Rising Light!
Benediction light.
Design own Concentration!
No, I will not fight.
Stay away from my friends!
Begin.
Far enough!
Take this.
Here goes!
I'll thank you.
Dance to
I
the
can't get out of this.
Now!
Ring left. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around.
Certainly not.
Elusive deity. Elusive deity.
Confiscated!
Eagle Ray. Can you take it? Benediction light. Another incantation ruined. Benediction light.
One last one! Dance in the
I thought you were going to wreck the place.
I'm not nearly finished yet!
Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
Blow away!
Begin.
Raging
Far enough!
Double Demon Fang!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
I'll thank you. Elusive deity.
Tornado Drive! Not so fast!
Shining Supernova! Dance in the wind!
I've been hit with something!
So even a masochist has his limits.
Not feeling so great.
Tempest
Can you take it?
Finish it! Frozen!
Hammer! I still got a ways to go.
In the water's edge, I see but for a moment, one Ganeth Harrows.
I hate to break it to you, man, but what you're saying isn't deep at all.
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
What is this place?
Careful. We've got company.
Doesn't look like we're getting past without a fight.
Watch your feet. Fall from here and it's curtains.
We're just trying to get past. Get out of our way!
Save your breath while that thing seizes a talking meal.
Then let's show it how wrong it is. Is it trying to stop us? Shattering the devastation! Aim for the weak spot.
Reflect on thy sin. They
Ready to go!
Light Astral
Begin!
Energy!
Swallow blade!
Hurricane! Far enough!
Destruction!
Eagle Door!
Puddle!
reflect on thy
Rising
sin.
Wyvern!
They smite with blackened blade.
Raging
Tear!
Storm!
Not today!
Wind
Reflect on
Astral
thy
Energy!
sin. They smite with
Raging
blackened
Blade.
blade.
Rising Falcon!
Breath!
I'm on!
It looks like you got this one covered.
Benediction light.
Light Astral Dance in the wind!
Rising Falcon!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Photon lightning condense! Laser blade!
I really owe you one.
Art expert coming through! Not on my watch! Its wings are lighting up!
It's getting ready to attack. Our arts are being interrupted.
Dance in the wind!
Such tremendous power.
Don't face it head on!
Swallow blade!
Lightning condense! Thunder
No
blade!
further.
This one's mine!
Benediction light.
Radiant storm! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Reflect on thy sin.
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Thy sins. They smite with blackened blade. Don't get carried away.
It's wide open!
It won't escape me. All finishes
Here we go!
They smite with blackened blade. I'll tear you apart.
Photon raging cascade!
Not today!
In here! Not on my watch!
Thank you.
Dance in the wind!
You're mine!
Air
You're
thrust!
finished!
Photon dance in the wind! In here!
Far enough!
Get on in there with the other!
You require help.
Seal! More for
Swallow
the
blade!
Ha! Can't get out of this.
You're mine!
Alright, it's showtime!
Reflect on thy sin.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Require complete
My reach is even lift. Tornado drive.
Dragon show!
Benediction light.
Demon Fang!
Heal.
Take this!
Reflect on thy sins. They smite with blackened blade. Ready? Another incantation ruin. I'll smash you.
Not today!
Photon blast! Dance in the wind!
Rising Wyvern!
More for the
Nothing gets by me! Far enough!
Demon Fang!
One at a time! Here goes! Dance in the wind!
Finish it!
Ringwell. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
Rising Wyvern!
Not in your dreams!
You're mine!
Reflect on thy sins.
Lightning
Different from before.
It's about to come at us! Look sharp!
Execution.
Take this!
Lightning Orb!
Armor won't save you. In a bind?
You're mine!
See what happened there is you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that. You're mine.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Reflect on thy sins.
Not today!
They smite with blackened
Air
blade.
thrust!
What in the world? Don't hurry. I'm all right. I'm still standing.
Dance
Ready
in
to
the
go.
wind! In here!
Denied!
I'm on it.
Let's get you all tucked away!
Rising Wyvern!
Reflect on thy
Raging
sins.
Storm! More
They
reactions!
smite with blackened blade.
Beast!
Here we go again. I see you. In your
Light
face.
Astral Energy! Raging Cascade!
Lightning Thrust!
Here
Rising
goes!
Falcon!
Not in your dreams!
This has a most peculiar taste. Reflect on thy sins.
They
I'll
smite
be
with
saving
black
you.
and blade!
Raging Storm!
Reflect thy sin.
Not today!
They smite with black.
I can handle it.
In here!
Far enough.
I'll be saving this one! Magic
Execution.
Crossblade! Dance in the wind!
All good things come
Dance in
to
the
an end.
wind!
Reflect thy sin. They smite with black and blade!
You're mine!
This one is almost in the bag!
Not done yet. Just falling back.
Then it's time
get
for
out
you
of
to
this.
do what you do best!
Begin! Take this!
Raging Storm! Here goes!
Sword
Don't
Rain
mind if I
Alpha!
do!
Just take this!
Blew away!
Smash you!
Here's the
You'll
lightning
pay for
condemned.
that!
Thunder Blade!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Now I'm in the
Lightning
groove!
Raging Blade!
This one's mine!
Eagle Dance in the wind! Sweet out!
Nothing gets by me. Far enough.
Watch yourself!
Rising Alpha!
Incredible power!
All right! Dance in the wind!
Reflect on thy sin!
Feel!
They smite with black and blade!
Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine.
Execution!
Feel force! Turn on
Sword
blade! When it is
Sword
time!
Rain Alpha!
Light Astrolabe! Raging Cascade!
Shattering
Go!
pieces!
Right.
Attack time!
Dance in the wind! Here goes!
Not today!
Photon Blast!
Reflect on thy sins! They smite with black and blade!
Here goes! Bullseye! Lightning condemned!
Finish it! Alpha! In an instant! Impact Block!
With fauna like that, I'm impressed so many people from Thistleum made it through here alive.
Who's to say there weren't a whole lot more of them who didn't?
Well, at any rate, it should be a safer climb now that we've cleared the way a bit, right?
No. So long as people feel the need to face terrain this perilous, I'd say true safety's some way off.
You mean defeating Volron and putting an end to the crown contest, right? I guess that would be the best solution here, huh?
We've wasted enough time here already. Let's get going. Xion needs us.
How are we still not there yet? It feels like we've been climbing this mountain forever.
It helps if you try not to look up or down. All you need is silent determination. Talking too much will only waste energy and burn you out.
I'm too tired to look up or down, even if I wanted to.
Take care you don't fall, at least. Unless you want to make a Zoogel's day, that is.
Zoogles? Why would they care if I fell or not?
How would you feel if a 3-course meal fell right out of the sky at your feet?
Zoogle Chow.
Law? Best not to listen to him if you can help it. You'll only be encouraging him if you do.
Tell me that before I listen next time.
Still, Dohalim has a point. One wrong step and it's curtains.
Wouldn't it be great if we could all fly like Hootle? I bet even the refugees who didn't make it would have made it to Thistleum that way.
Until we magically sprout wings, let's just watch where we're stepping instead, okay? Come on. Xion's waiting for us.
Opponent like this should be easy.
Calamity!
Not on my watch!
Barrier! Benediction light! Heal! Power benediction light! Prepare to be sealed!
Just what the doctor ordered!
Far enough!
Benediction!
Air to You got company! Leave the enemy's arc to me!
No complaints here!
Finish it!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Light act
In a bind?
Fear! Let's get you all
Armor
tucked
won't
away!
save you! Here!
No! Today!
Benediction light.
Here!
Benediction light.
Here!
Here and now!
Take this!
Can you take it?
There!
Make it right!
Demons descend!
Flashing bang!
This one's mine!
Deity!
Hold on to your heart! Here I come!
I'll finish you here and now! Make it right!
In an instant! Impact Frost!
I should be of some use to us now.
You weren't exactly dead weight before.
Except in regard to doing basic chores.
Are you insane? What the hell were you thinking? I thought we were gonna die! One simply needs to be bold and act with conviction in times such as these.
Did you know it was gonna be safe before you jumped? Because I sure didn't.
More or less. I figured there would likely be a basin here akin to most such waterfalls.
Don't just make people jump off cliffs on a hunch!
Are we ever gonna finish climbing this ladder?
We're climbing a considerable height. It's only natural that it will take some time.
That's not the problem here!
We are getting closer to the top, aren't we?
You've just got to keep your spirits up, Rinwell. Positive thinking is everything.
finally reached the top.
My limbs feel like they're about to fall off.
Already? You kids need to train more.
She's right. We don't have time to catch our breath.
A wall to shield from calamity.
Barrier!
Denied!
I'll face you. Elusive deity. Begin. I'm surrounded.
This one's mine!
The enemy wields carve through.
You'll soon see about that.
Hey! Blow them away! How's that? In a bind? I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Dance in the wind!
I'll face you.
Now!
Outfit!
In an instant! Impact block!
Dance in the wind!
Come on, roll now!
Lightning bolt!
Elusive deity!
Thunderblade!
Eagle Ray!
Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your run! Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
How long has it been since I last went this hungry?
Gotta break through!
Shield from calamity. Another incantation ruined. Begin! Reflect on thy sin.
Nothing gets by me!
Can you take it? Young
Far enough!
Easy smelling to me. Yeah! And the puzzle is to me! Outfit!
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
I'll take you all on!
Tornado drive! In the wind!
Finish it! Double Steven! Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
I think I'm getting stronger.
There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Yeah, if only I were a cat. We did it. We've reached the top of the mountain.
About damn time. My knees are singing symphonies over here.
Look, there it is.
That's it. That's Pelegion, the seat of Volron's power.
So that's where Shion's being held?
Most likely.
Most likely.
That is what I said, yes.
Plegion's still our best lead. So that's where we go, right?
Any advice before we head in there?
No.
No?
In the ancient tongue, Ganeth Heros means Fortress of Naught, though I fail to see what insight that nugget of trivia holds.
I guess I just thought you might have something we could use.
Since Volron became Lord, the only thing this realm has been known for is its shroud of secrecy. It is Volron's stronghold. All else is incidental. Just keep in mind that you can't be too careful inside.
Speaking of which, just how are all of us planning to get inside exactly?
It's not like there are any secret passages.
We've come this far. If there's no other way in, I guess we'll just have to use the front gate. Volron told us to come find him, which means he's expecting us. Let's do this the old-fashioned way.
Land of water or no, this place has a most curious atmosphere.
I'd be taking a dip in it if the circumstances were better.
Sorry, but we have to push through for now. Shion is waiting.
Yeah, I hear ya. A soak can wait.
I sure hope nothing bad's happened to Shion.
Keep those thoughts to yourself, Rinwell. Everyone's anxious enough as it is.
Sorry. It's just... I can't seem to stop thinking about it. What do you think it is that Volron wanted with her anyway?
Going by what he said back on Almadria's ship, it would appear his primary target is Alphen. Though, it's likely he hasn't forgotten the blow he sustained at Shion's hand either. That might even be what ignited his interest.
Yeah, did you see the way he reacted? It was like he was enjoying every moment. Even his pain at Shion's thorns. Oh, that guy's just creepy.
Let's just hope he's keeping his perverted tendencies in check.
What? Law? Don't say things like that.
It's not like we weren't all thinking it.
That's still no reason to...
All right, you two. Now that's enough already. Alphen shouldn't have to grit his teeth while he listens to you.
Oh,
Sorry.